Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make commercial buns. Commercial buns does not have milk and eggs so that you can make some more profit, and this is a very nice recipe I love that is also delicious. So I'll be using flour, water, sugar, yeast, salt, margarine, nutmeg, and baking powder. I'm going to show you how I measure the baking powder because that is very important. And the brand of baking powder I'm using is Double Crown. That is the baking powder I am using. I love it for this particular commercial bun, so I recommend that you get it to use it. If you don't have it, use the one that you have. So that is my bowl where I'll be mixing everything to make my commercial buns. So let's get started. I have added my flour and now I am adding all the other dry ingredients and I'm going to mix it. At this point, this is when you add your baking powder, but I forgot to add it because I wanted to show you the measurement. However, I showed the measurements, but this is when you want to add it. So after mixing my dry ingredients, I added my margarine. The ingredients for this is going to be in the description box. Everything clearly stated is going to be there. So here I'm going to rub in my margarine into my dry ingredients. And I'm doing that now. I am mixing everything. After mixing this, the next thing that needs to come now is your water, but make sure you add your baking powder before you add your water. I forgot to add it, and you're going to see when I added my baking powder later. So here I would add all my 1/4 cup of water, and as I was mixing I realized I needed to add more, but I knew I'll be adding more, but I wanted to show you every single step in making buns so that if you're a learner you know how to add water to your buns. So this was when I remembered that I've not added my baking powder and I'm measuring it. Look at the heaped 1/8 teaspoon of baking powder. I wanted you to see how I measured it so that when you are doing measuring yours at home, you know exactly the quantity that you want to take. So I mixed that in, but mind you, you add this when you add all your dry ingredients, not now. I'm adding mine now because that was when I remembered. So after I mixed in the 1/4 cup water, it was not enough, and I'm going to add some more water gradually. Can you see the way I'm adding it? I add and I mix so that I'll be sure I am adding just enough water to get the right texture of dough that we need to make crunchy commercial buns. I also needed to add some more, and I just sprinkled in a little more water. By the time I went back to measure the amount of water I used exactly 6.5 tablespoons of water. Now, this is the texture of dough we are going for this particular recipe, for this particular commercial recipe, and I'm going to knead the dough, as you can see me do, for like 2 minutes. This is how you want to knead the dough. You don't need to knead it for a long time. You just need to knead it for about 2 minutes and it's okay. So after I kneaded my dough, and it was okay for about 2 minutes, I went ahead to mold my buns. This recipe can make 5 buns, but I molded 4 buns, and you can see the size is it was quite large. In Nigeria now, you don't have such sizes of buns for sale anymore because of the price of baking materials. So I would advise that when you're making yours, you mold 5 buns instead of 4 like I did. So now I want to show you how I molded my buns. I'm just showing you the texture of the dough again here so that you'll be very sure of what you want to get. So I am now going to mold my buns. You simply pick up the dough. That was the amount of water remaining after I added my water. I wanted you to see what was left, but like I told you, I used 6.5 tablespoons of water. So I am molding my buns now. This is how you mold your buns. This is how you mold it just with one hand. You don't need both hands. that roughness is needed. So you don't want to make a perfect ball. If you like your buns perfectly round, you can go ahead and drop very little water on your palm and roll the dough on your palm. But this is the way I like to mold it, and it's just fine. Over here I am molding 4 balls of buns, and this is how I do it. You pick up the buns, you smooth the area around the buns, you try to make a kind of ball with your hand, and then you push it out and drop it. That is how you mold your buns. And now I'm just trying to remove the excess dough on my fingers to drop on each bun so that I can get a perfect size for all of them. Off camera, I cleaned my hands very well and removed the and placed the dough on the buns again. I didn't wash all that dough out. I scraped my hand with a spoon and I dropped the dough on each of the buns. You can do that. So after this, we are going to be heating our oil to fry the buns. And when you want to fry your buns, you use medium low heat to fry your buns. That's because if you use very high heat, if your oil is too hot, your buns will be cooked outside but raw inside. So you fry on medium low heat. So I simply pick up the buns, as you can see, and drop it gently in the hot oil. And it took 5 minutes for my oil to get to the right temperature. That means our buns dough rested for 5 minutes before I began to fry. So I'm dropping in the last buns now. You can see that the sizes of the buns are bigger. Yes, they have risen. That's it. So if you want to add milk to your commercial buns, let's say you're making it at home for your family, you can add half a teaspoon of powdered milk. I have tried it before and it was very good. So you can do that when you are making commercial, in case you decide to add some milk to this recipe. I have tried it before and it was so nice. So I'm just telling you in case you want to do that. So this is how you fry your buns. I showed you every single step before I got to the right color, and this is the color I want, a little bit dark brown, and my buns is ready. At this point I have started taking it out. As can you see the rough marks all over it? This buns is so crunchy, and even though it does not contain milk and eggs, it's so delicious. I love it, and doesn't have so much sugar. So in case you want to do this for business, your customers are not going to complain that the buns is too sweet, and the sugar level is just fine, because when you take it with your soft drink, it's just nice. So this is our finished product. This is our commercial buns, and it's ready. And here to show you what the inside looks like. The inside is soft and fluffy, and the outside is just perfectly crunchy. So you can start a business with this recipe and people are going to love it. So thank you so much for stopping by. Please like this video so that YouTube can show it to other people looking for such recipes, and subscribe to my channel and share my video, please. Thank you so much. Bye.